room, and I'm trying to get her to come up on the couch, but I don't think she's going to. I think whatever the medicine that the doctor gave her is working, because the wheeze is mostly gone, and while she's still sneezing, it's a dry sneeze. So she's feeling better, and she's been playing today. She plays chase with the boys. What she'll do is she'll make sure that they can see her, and then she'll bolt off knowing that they'll chase her. Because, she's 15. Bless you. See, there she's I don't know if you can hear her sneezing, but she's sneezing. But they're 10 months old and she's 15. So, yeah, she just trotted out. Okay. Nope, no cameo for you. Okay. Oh, I wanted to mention one other thing. Tonight is a supermoon. It is when the full moon is the closest to the earth. So, and I did see it about 5 o'clock last night, I want to say. And it was in the east. So wherever you are, go look and see the moon come up, because it'll be huge. And very bright. So I forget the name of the full moon, but super moon, big moon, bright moon. Okay. We are doing your spiritual power. Let us do the housekeeping, and then we will get on with it. And all the housekeeping is me reminding you that we are Creative Life Spiritual Center. Website is creativelife.org. Constant contact, email info@creativelife.org. Get you one email a week, tells you what's going on for the week and the month. The hot links are hot. So if it says click here now, it means it. And it is a blind CC. It means that nobody's going to see your email. You won't end up on anybody else's email list because of us. So hopefully you think it's worth it. And when I say one email, I mean it. Real person doing it. And he just doesn't have time for more than that, unless something unusual happens. That's it. We do live in hurricane country. Although lately the problems have not been hurricanes this year. They've been other storms. So, okay. And I'm debating turning the fan on because I just realized I'm hot. I don't know what's going on. It's going to be like 88 on Friday and Saturday, and then back into the 70s on Sunday. So, weather. Okay. And then I want to mention the social medias merely briefly because we do not monetize them. We don't ask you to give them money. We don't give them money. So what we ask you to do instead is to engage with the pages. Like, subscribe, follow based on which platform you're on. Like if on YouTube, if you subscribe and allow notifications, it'll let you know when we upload new videos. If you, allow notifications and like and follow on Facebook, it'll let you know when we go live or upload new videos. So there's that. Okay. And we are, and then engage with the individual posts. So react to the post, comment on the post, share the post. It bumps us in the algorithms. So it's a free, easy way you can support the center. All it costs you is a click. And we are Creative Life Spiritual Center or Creative Life Spark. And I'm the running Rev Ryan on the social medias that I am on. So okay, that's it. Now, this book is a collection of Ernest Holmes' works. It is not a book, but a library of books. We are currently doing Discover a Richer Life, and we are in part 3 where we are discovering our place in life. And I like the title today because it's Unlimited Living. Free your thinking. But and Discover a Richer Life turns out, because if you read the introduction, which I did, it's a collection of articles that Ernest Holmes, or essays, I guess, essays that Ernest wrote for the Science of Mind magazine. So that's what this is. It's not actually a book he wrote, but it's a collection of articles that he wrote for the Science of Mind magazine that, follow a theme. So, which I recently found out that the Living the Science of Mind were the letters that came from the at-home course, which I think is fascinating because each one came with it. Each lesson would come with an essay. So, cool. All right. Let me get my light on, get my trusty highlighter ready. And unlimited living, free your thinking. The universe is abundant, unlimited in every respect. If it were not unlimited, it would have depleted itself long, long ago. Life would have exhausted itself. Law would have ceased to function. Love would have lost its power to harmonize and to heal. And thought and consciousness would have retreated to instinctive reaction. Instead, what do we find? The fish in the ocean lay so many eggs that if they all hatched, the waters would overflow all the lowlands. The stars in the heaven are beyond counting. The grains of sand on the beach are innumerable. The leaves on the trees continue to multiply. Nature is lavish, abundant, extravagant. I never thought of it that way. About the fish. Why? Because God, infinite intelligence, is perfect, whole, complete, and can never be added to nor taken from. God is all that is. God is the reality which is limitless in every aspect and is the source of and is in all things. The same yesterday, today, tomorrow, and forever. But flowing from this infinite and eternal sameness, there is always infinite change in the form and manner of expression and manifestation. Okay, I like that. If we come to know that life itself is always the same in essence, including its law that governs its expression, then we shall see that the manifestation of it in and as our experience would have to partake of its consistent nature. Oh, okay. Although life goes forth into infinite forms of expression, it of itself never changes. Suppose we could come to know that there is an order and a symmetry in everything, that there is always enough love to go around, enough good, enough beauty, enough health and happiness, then we would know that everyone in the world could enjoy these things without ever exhausting their source. Then we would have begun to grow up, to think logically, to realize that continued use of a basic principle never exhausts that principle. We can always add 2 and 2 and never deprive ourselves of the answer 4. We need to have a big concept of the fundamental nature of life, God, the universe. We need to know that there is a limitless abundance of all good things. All right, we need to know that there is a limitless abundance of all good things. And now he's going to tell a story. I know a woman years ago who was despondent over her financial condition. She told me her affairs had continued to be chaotic until she realized something was wrong with her thinking. One day she went and sat on the beach all day and nearly all night. She thought about how many grains of sand there were. She looked up and thought how many stars there are. She was so filled with the thoughts of abundance, the abundance of nature, with which she unified herself, that she was able to change her former thinking then and there. Her experience changed too. How great is the view! We close it out when we put our little hands in front of our little eyes and refuse to look at things in a big way. We should identify ourselves with the infinite presence that is universal and whose essence is our substance and supply. The biggest life is the one that includes the most. God is one, not two. In this one, we are included, not excluded. For we are individualized centers in the consciousness of God. Since there is only one final person, God, we all live as personalities in that person. This means that our personality is the use we are making of a divine individuality that has been given us. the use we are making of our creative nature. If we wish an abundance of friendship and love, or of any good thing, we should think of the one person in whom all people live. We should identify ourselves with God, who is in every person. But do we always do this? Do we expect the abundance of love and friendship, or do we deny it and say people don't like us? Of money or of any good thing, do we say that we don't know how it can be ours? There is one source of everything in the universe, which takes the form of supply we need, the supply we need when we need it. If in the process of the unfoldment of the supply, we ought to meet people, we shall. There is but the one, and we must go to the one. It is in us. It creates everything. It controls everything. It is everything. Jesus understood this. Therefore, he could find money in the fish's mouth, turn water into wine, multiply the loaves and fishes. But we have to start with the divine pattern. All the great thinkers and spiritual geniuses of the ages have believed this. It means that flowing through me is something akin to what is in you. But it also means we are free to choose and act upon our choices. That's the kicker, though, right there, that free will thing. And that's one of the reasons why Jesse says, if you don't know what to know, know that they are at choice. Know that they know that they are at choice. Okay. If I meet you as someone apart, someone I don't like, or someone who doesn't like me, I am making a barrier between us. But if turning away from everything that appears limited, we meet each other as divine beings, this will also include us as humans. The greater will always include the lesser. We all have a certain kind of integrity that makes it almost impossible for us to violate very consistently that something in us. Now, see, he says almost impossible to violate consistently. He doesn't say we can't violate it, because we do. And we do it on a pretty regular basis. But he says it's hard. Like, we have to make ourselves miserable. You know? Like, I think our natural state is fairly joyful. You know, fairly happy. Like, look at babies. If they're fed and taken care of, they're happy. So we have to go out of our way to make ourselves miserable. And I find that very interesting. All right, hang on. Friendship begets friendship, love begets love, peace surrounds us with peace, joy creates joy, and a feeling of the abundance of everything in the universe automatically causes our adequate supply of all things to flow to us. Now, notice he said adequate supply. It's like we don't need too much, but an adequate supply. We need enough. When this is not happening, what is choking it? Our own thinking. Well, yes. And we will remember that we are in relationship and that there are people who are deliberately out to get in other people's way. So take it with a grain. Take it with a grain. But, change your thinking, change your life. When you change your thinking, you see new opportunities that you may not have seen before you changed your thinking. So, not always our conscious thinking, for we seem to want all these things. It is more often an unconscious denial or an objective appearance which provides a mental denial. This is why Jesus said, judge not according to appearances. Okay? The first thing we need to do is to get quiet within ourselves, consciously deny any sense of fear and uncertainty, and consciously affirm the limitless abundance of God, until finally the unconscious or subjective reaction that has given rise to the reason why good could not manifest, no longer raises an argument. Because when we can do that, then we see the opportunities that were probably there the whole time that we just didn't see. A lot of times because we think it couldn't be this easy. Therefore, that easy path that we could take, we don't see it because we are sitting here telling ourselves, well, it can't be that easy. Yeah, it can. Yeah, it can. Whether we call this an argument of error or, as the psychologist says, the inertia of our thought patterns makes no difference. These thought patterns can be changed. And see, that's the important thing. The thought patterns can be changed. Any pattern can be changed. Every time we identify ourselves with the spirit within, we are dealing with a certainty, and every word of affirmation will replace a word of denial. In this way, we build up within ourselves an acceptance of greater good. In order to illustrate this, let us consider the 5 fingers, okay? We're going to consider the 5 fingers. There is a flow of blood from the heart down into and through them. If we were to strangulate that flow at the heart, none of the fingers would have any circulation. Let us say that we can never strangulate the heart, which we shall liken to the universal spirit. It is always active. But down where the fingers are, there can be strangulation in and about them, so there is no circulation. We don't have to establish the stream of flow, but we do have to loosen the bands of fear that restrict the flow so that it will course through all 5 fingers. That is incredible. We have to loosen the bands of fear that restrict the flow. Beautiful. Hello, baby. Yes? Well, you have to come a little closer over so they can see you. See? Dante. In other words, through some pattern of our thinking, we strangulate the flow of spirit, limiting abundance through many aspects of our lives. There are in the world today approximately, this will tell you how long ago this was written, okay? When this was written, there were 2,300,000,000 people. We're over 8 billion now. This was written a while ago. They are all supplied by the same spiritual blood. They are all using the same mind and living by the same spirit. If something could remove every idea and concept of pestilence, famine, insecurity, and the fear we have of each other and of other nations, the spirit would flow unobstructed. It would no longer be constricted by our sense of limitation. Someday, this is going to happen. The only thing that will do it is the realization of the indwelling spirit. We hear much about insecurity and the need to pray. There is a way of accepting the unlimited life so that we shall no longer be afraid of ourselves. The only thing perpetuating fear is what Carl Jung called the individual and collective thought patterns. We must identify ourselves with the limitless source of prosperity, love, friendship, happiness, and spontaneous joy, and maintain this identification through new and consistent patterns of thought. I like to be glad. I detest sadness. I know there's a lot of it in the world. I would have had much of it, but I don't keep it. No, I have had much of it, but I don't keep it for very long. It is no good. Why should we have to go through life impoverished in a universe that is abundant in all things? Life is not just something to be endured. It is to be lived in joy, in a fullness without limit. We must get rid of the old morbid theological concepts. Oh, I'm with him there. I am with him there. I place no value on anything unless it brings gladness, love, friendship, the ability to laugh, and makes me feel that every person I meet, if I knew them, I would love. They are as good as I am, having the same heart pattern, the same kind of bloodstream, the same divinity. I like that he's like first person. That's really cool. Can there ever be a freedom of intellect or emotions, or the circulation of substance and supply in human experience, until the divine nature. Wait, what? Hang on. What did I just read? Can there ever be a freedom of intellect or emotion, or the circulation of substance and supply in human experience until the divine nature, the source of all, is recognized and accepted without limitation? Okay. We struggle first for the affection of 2 or 3 people to whom we give the power to destroy our happiness. Passing our doors are thousands who would love to embrace us. Isn't it strange? Yet we see, that's what I was talking about. Like, we're busy focused on the limitation, and so we're not seeing the opportunities. I don't know what that was. He's very cute though. Okay. Yet we see, passing our doors are thousands who would love to embrace us. Isn't it strange? Yet we see it everywhere in life. The greater good held away because of denial of the part. The greater good held away because of a denial of the part. Or because we say there is only one avenue through which money or affection or appreciation can come, even though we are a part of and immersed in the limitless source of such things. And that's why we talk about not outlining. It's like, be specific, but not too specific, because when you are that specific, you cut off all the other avenues that spirit can use to get to you. So yeah, there it is. Okay. It is hard to grow up, isn't it? It is hard to gain spiritual maturity, to see that God is in everything. And that's true. Like, I have done a whole lot of this work. And every now and again, I look at a situation and go, so you have to look for the good. You have to look for the God. It's like, no matter how dire the situation is, God is there. We just have to make, better choices. Okay. The only thing that will release the strangulation hold we have placed on our fuller experience of the unlimited abundance of all the good things is for us to wake up mentally and emotionally. We need to escape from our old limited patterns of thinking and from our emotional anxieties and fears and come to know the most practical thing in the world, the most dynamic truth. God is all there is, and in God there is no limitation. To the degree we stop limiting our thought of what God is, to the extent will we be able to enter a fuller experience of all that God is and can be in every aspect of our life. The most dynamic truth. And I think that may be the end of that was the end of the article. So tomorrow we will move into part 4, the power of faith. So it's been a really interesting series. And I like that, we are getting Ernest, we're getting more personal, stories of Ernest because he was writing for the magazine. So these are shorter and more personal, and he's telling stories, and I like it. I like it a lot. I hope you do too. Yes. And I'm being distracted by the cat. So let's wrap this up. I'm going to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonderful day, an awesome day, an amazing day, an unlimited day, a change your thinking day, a let's look at those patterns day, a cuddle your fur babies day, a enjoy the weather, whatever it looks like in your neck of the woods, because it's kind of weird in mine, a drink plenty of water day, a go get some sunshine day, a you got this day, a good day, and if that is too much pressure, simply have a day. You are enough, just as you are. You are a beloved expression of the divine. You are a brilliant light, a divine spark, spirit in motion, God in action, a beautiful masterpiece, and a work in progress at the same time, at your own pace. He fell off. Yes, I hear you, baby. And as Reverend Jesse likes to call us, you are a godling. Explore the truth of your being. Get to know who the divine knows you to be, because the divine knows you to be good. And from there, anything is possible. Anything at all is possible. All right, beloveds. Ugh. Reverend David will be, Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. with you. I'll be back with you around 9-ish tomorrow. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved, and I will see you next time. And I hope Dante keeps joining us, because this has been a whole lot of fun for me.